I can truly see how this man-made system of oppression gets a hold on your life. Not just to drain you of this thing called money, but to strip you of your precious life force. From the moment we're born, assigned a birth certificate and a social security number, we are trapped. Just like an insect caught helplessly on flypaper, our fate is sealed before we even understand the concept of freedom. We are trained to fit into this system, and we are made to believe that it's a good thing. We march forward with smiles on our faces as the shackles are placed around our ankles and wrists. Some of us even puff our chests out in pride because our shackles are shinier, heavier, and seemingly more valuable than those of others. But what does that really mean? Only a foolish people would brag about the debt shackles they place upon themselves, as though it elevates their status above someone who may not have the luxury car or high-end home, but also doesn't carry the crushing stress of maintaining it. They stretch their budgets to acquire these showroom-fresh symbols of success, but in doing so, they unknowingly chain themselves to a constant need to earn more, produce more, and compete more. What's the reward? A false sense of superiority as they drive around believing they're winning, when they've actually become more dependent, more anxious, and more entangled in the very trap they think they've escaped. Take the institution of marriage. Isn't it supposed to be a beautiful thing? Something sacred and blessed by religion and tradition? Yes, but even that has been manipulated by the system. It has become another means to strip, especially men, of their financial and emotional independence. The system profits heavily from divorce, which has become more common than ever. No matter what age a man gets married, if he has never truly undergone a rite of passage into manhood, he's entering a battlefield unprepared. In ancient cultures, boys were guided into manhood through rituals that taught them how to hunt, build shelter, provide, and protect. Only once they earned the right were they permitted to marry and start a family, a very serious endeavor tied to legacy and purpose. Today, in Western society, young men are raised by the internet and seduced by pornography. Their idea of marriage is driven not by responsibility or love, but by lust and fleeting desire. Many have never learned what it truly means to be a man. As a result, marriage is reduced to a shallow pursuit of pleasure. They want the dessert of sexual fulfillment without the meal of commitment, discipline, and understanding. Instead of a life partner, they seek a glorified friction provider. Outside of marriage, they look for the next quick thrill, chasing an endless high through meaningless partners, each release bringing them closer to emptiness. But eventually, there's a price to pay. Divorce, alimony, child support, and once again, they find themselves like that insect stuck on the flypaper, trapped in a system that was always designed to drain them dry. They tell us we live in a free society, but most of us only think we're free. Most of the time, that freedom exists only in our minds. As I always say, I've never seen a squirrel have a nervous breakdown. I've never seen an alligator stressed over a mortgage payment. I've never seen a dog sprinting down the street in panic because it's late for work. Yet here we are, supposedly the highest form of life, completely duped into a system that enslaves us, limits us, and siphons off our energy. We even lose control of our own children. If you discipline your child, even in a non-abusive, loving manner, the system might step in. A teacher, a neighbor, or even the child themselves might trigger a chain of events that invites the state into your home. Why? Because the state doesn't want disciplined children. Disciplined children grow up into disciplined adults, and disciplined adults are harder to control. The system is designed to funnel your children into the prison industrial complex, where they're reduced to numbers, bodies that keep the prison profits rolling in. Prisons have become privatized. They are businesses, and like all businesses, they need customers. So life becomes a game of musical chairs, and when the music stops, not everyone has a seat. That's not by accident, it's by design. The goal is to create frustration, desperation, and eventually crime. And once crime enters the picture, the system has another body to lock away. Escaping the Western system of oppression is the ultimate revenge. But before you can walk away from it, you must detox your mind. You must stop craving their debt, their overpriced homes, their luxury cars, and fake status symbols. You have to step back and ask yourself, what do I truly need to be free? Because most people waste their lives playing a game they could never win, chasing approval, validation, and success by a system that hates them. To really be free, you need to step off that merry-go-round. Imagine waking up on a bright, sunny morning, laying out in the sun, deciding on your own terms what you want to do with your day. No boss, no bills, no rat race, just peace. That is what freedom feels like. But the thought of leaving everything you've known, that scares people. It's like a slave who's just been granted freedom, but is too afraid of the unknown. So what does he do? He runs back to the plantation. He returns to the place he once prayed to escape. That's Stockholm Syndrome, and it's real. Your oppressor knows that if he can control your mind, he can control your body. And most of us hand over our life force back to him willingly because we don't even know its value. Breaking free isn't easy, but maybe, just maybe, if we put down our phones, stop scrolling through celebrity gossip and political lies, and turned inward, we'd begin to heal. We'd begin to understand what kind of life we really want after we detox from the Western way of thinking that has enslaved us. Your mind is powerful, but it's useless to you if someone else controls it.